Right, so the first thing we've got to do with a YouTube video is say, hi guys. And the next thing we have to do is come up with some long sweeping shots of what we've done with some funky background music. So let's give that a try. Okay, so we're done with the funky, gliding, posh introduction there. Let me show you the technology and the gadgetry that we have in this room. Now, first of all, up here in the ceiling, we have LED spotlights. These LED spotlights are from China. I bought them dirt cheap. There are 5 of them because we have a room which is a little bit of a funny shape here, and we have an entrance. So we have 5 lights, and you might be able to see them all there. What we can do then, we're connecting with Amazon here, with the Alexa, and we can talk to her and we can get her to turn the lights on or off. And for those old school people, there's also a traditional switch, off and on, which is great. Well, what we can do is say, Alexa, make the gaming room lights green. She should, hopefully, do that. Alexa, make the gaming room lights green. And there you go. It changes the lights to green. What I've also done is included in this group some LED lights behind the TV, and they also change when I tell it to change the gaming room lights, so it all stays the same theme. You can split it up as well if you wish. So the LED lights behind the TV, again from eBay/Amazon dirt cheap. They stick on, there's 4 of them. They connect together and they're fed from the USB power of the TV. So when the TV's on, these lights come on. You can turn them off if you wish, but it's a good it just looks good. I think it adds a nice sort of background to the TV, and especially if you've got the lights off in the evening and you just want a bit of side lights, that works spectacularly well. So Alexa, make the gaming room lights white. She's not listening to me today. Alexa, make the gaming room lights white. There you go. So now in this case she's changed the spotlights to white, and the back of the TV is still green. So we can split it up there too. We have 2 22-inch Dell monitors here. These are very good. I like these because they don't have a great deal of border on the screen, as you might be able to see. These are running on a Google Chrome box, and basically I have a keyboard, which is a small cordless keyboard, and a small cordless mouse. Great for putting away when you've finished using it. I'll show you what this is all powered off in a moment, but you can see here I can basically drag tabs across from one side to another. It works well. It's using Google Chrome, so I've got everything I need. I can do SSH, I can basically browse, I can check my email, and I can sit here whilst the music above plays. I'm playing YouTube on the TV at the top here, and what I can do is basically broadcast anything to that screen. Around the back of that screen is a Google Chromecast, so I can fire Netflix to it, Amazon Prime to it, YouTube videos to it, and everything else. So I can have that up on the top screen I can also use the TV as a Bluetooth speaker if I want to broadcast any sort of internet radio or anything onto that screen. It displays on there while I'm working. Here is a little section for the remote controls. It includes this remote control for the Samsung, which means that I can say to Alexa, Alexa, turn the gaming room TV off. Hopefully she'll understand what I'm saying today, and she does. And I can also say the opposite. Cancel.
I pronounce that opposite, but I'm always working on how I say things and I might not have it right.
Okay. Alexa, turn the gaming room TV on. Now,
sorry, I don't know that.
You will, you do, love, you do. But basically she'll communicate with this remote control, if I phrase it correctly. Alexa, turn the gaming TV on. Let's see if she'll do it. And basically it operates with this TV remote control and turns the TV back on. I've got on the TV, which I did mention before, I've got a satellite feed in the back. So there's no payment here. This is free sat, so I can watch BBC One. I can watch, I can scroll through the channels here. So we've got BBC One, I've got BBC Two HD, I've got ITV HD, we've got Channel 4, we've got all the various, there's BBC One in HD, so you can see the lovely doctors in HD there, and BBC 4 in HD, I don't think that's actually started yet. So we've got a big selection of channels there. We can go into the channel guide. If I go back, because that particular channel is not operating right now. Let's go into the channel guide. I press home and I go free sat and I go guide. And we can go into the guide here, which will load hopefully. And you can see all the channels that I can get for free. And it's amazing really, if you've got Sky and you're paying for Sky, you probably don't realise that a lot of the channels are actually free. So all these channels I'm listing here are completely free. E4, you would think maybe, oh, I'm paying for that. It's free. It's completely free on FreeSat. So why are you paying for Sky? And this is really why I have just cancelled Sky as well. So if you go in the channel list, you can get to it easier and you can flick through like that and you can see what's on. Nice and quick and easy. This is just one satellite feed from a satellite dish, which I'll show you in a moment. So that TV up there can get basically FreeSat, and it can also receive Netflix and anything else that you want to cast, and it's hooked up to a PlayStation via a HDMI lead. The HDMI lead and the power lead goes down the wall here. There's 3 HDMI leads down there for 3 feeds in the back of the TV, and there's also a satellite lead which goes down there, and then the 2 power leads. The back of these monitors, which come out on arms here, what I did with these 2 monitors was you can buy brackets. You can buy brackets which will work together on one big bracket so that the screens go together quite well. Now, it was quite expensive, so I basically bought 2 brackets off eBay, and then I did a huge amount of mathematics to work out whether they were aligned or whether they were connected, you know, sort of basically to make sure they stuck together like this. Now, the stuff that you won't see on these funky YouTube videos showing the gaming setups is all this nastiness behind. Now, all this nastiness here, I have had to buy 2 separate plugs because basically these kettle leads, these fly leads, these power leads, whatever you want to call them, were too long. So I've shortened them. So the TV, when you get a TV or a monitor, this fly lead here is usually quite long, and it was basically having to wrap it around the bracket there, and it was basically looked messy. So I've shortened the cable here, and I've cut the cable off, and I've rewired the plug. By the way, biggest tip I would give to anybody really: learn how to wire a plug. Blue to the left, brown to the right, earth up the top. What you can also see here is a little bit of mess, and is something I had to actually do because I was kind of stuck, was this is where the HDMI leads come out of the wall. This is a brush outlet. You can buy these from places like Screwfix, and it allows the cabling to come in and out very easily. You can go one better, you can go deeper into the wall, and you can have a HDMI presentation here, and it looks really, really nice and tidy. I've gone a slightly messy route here. I need to replace some of these HDMI cables because we've got adapters going from male to female and back from female to male again. I need to adjust all that, but for now it works and it's great. So these two monitors have HDMI inputs each. They do also accept VGA, old school, and they have USB ports on the side should I need to charge anything. So you may not be able to see that, but there's two HDMI ports on the side and they work together like that. You can bring it out if you want to look at them a bit clearer, but I usually put them flat against the wall. Now we've got a Nintendo Switch. This switch feeds into a HDMI lead that goes into the wall and feeds up to the TV at the top. We've got a micro USB charging point. Now this goes in, I'll just show you over here. What I ended up buying was a couple of these. They have 2.1 amp 5 volt USB outlets here, and then obviously you've got your two power feeds. So I can plug cabling into there, and I can charge phones, I can charge controllers, you control, I've got Bluetooth speakers as well, which you can charge from that. We've got over here, we've got the gaming chair itself, which is quite cool, really comfortable gaming chair. And then in here is where basically we've got this IKEA desk here. This is a standard IKEA desk, and you can go to IKEA and buy this. I don't know exactly which model it is, but it has some cable management down the back there. It's nice and easy to put together. We have all the PlayStation games in the drawer at the top here, PS4 games. Now in here is where we keep some of the secret wizardry. Now I've tried to keep this as tidy as possible. We have a load of charging cables because you're always going to need iPhone and USB, micro USB charging cables and USB-C charging cables. We've also got the PlayStation controllers here, which are just visible. What we've had to do is put some holes in the back of the unit there. You can also see a rather tatty extension lead, which is where we've had to put some power. I have got, this is the computer, which basically is powering those two monitors. This is a Chromebox. Now a Chromebox is very cheap. This is an Asus Chromebox. I don't believe they actually manufacture this one anymore, but it was on eBay and it was dirt cheap. It's got a USB and it's got the two HDMI outputs which feed up to that TV. We've also got the receiver for that cordless keyboard and the cordless mouse. That small unit there, which is hard to see, I will try and brighten it up, and it's kind of tricky because it's not focusing, is basically what's powering those two monitors. It's really good. And as you can see, it's not very big at all. It's got a SD card slot here, and we've got the two HDMI ports at the back here, and we've got also a 3.5mm audio port which goes to a small speaker, so you can play music out of there and it comes out very well. We've got the PlayStation itself sitting in there, and obviously that goes onto the main screen. So that is what's in the cupboard. Not a great deal. We wanted to make it as tidy as possible. Now, the bit I don't really want to show you, but I will show you, is where all those HDMI cables come out. Now, if I had the time again, I would maybe tidy this bit up and hide some of these behind the cupboard that I purchased, but what we've got is a huge amount of HDMI cables coming out here, and this is the best I could tidy it. If I did it again, I'd hide it behind this, or I'd maybe put a white piece of boarding there to hide this completely. I could buy a white piece of shelving and cover it up completely. I think I may do that. We've got the charger for the Amazon Alexa. We've got the HDMI leads here coming out for the Switch, coming out for the PlayStation, two for the computer as well, and then we've got an Ethernet connection here, which is what I mentioned before, and that is what connects the computer, the PlayStation, for the fastest speed. So that's a 1 gigabit per second port, and it connects into the Virgin broadband, which is running at about 400 megabits per second. For some reason, I don't honestly know. We don't pay for that, but we get 400 megabits per second. And there's another switch here with the USB. So what else can we do with Alexa? So we can turn the TV on and off. We can change the lights on, off, and the colors, and we can also change the lights in another room. But this is my gaming room slash home office setup. It basically consists of the Google Chrome box displaying onto 2 screens here, which is all I need. I can RDP into Windows machines using this as well if I need to. I've got the screen up above which accepts all manner of media, and it is just perfect. It's taken a lot of time and effort because we've had to chase the wall out, we've had to have it replastered, put this blind up as well. The blind was expensive. We've had to do these lights because there was only just one lamp in the middle of this room before, and now we've got 5 LED lights, and that all has to be worked out. But this is my gaming room setup. Right, so let's talk about the satellite dish now. Most of you will have one of these. This is a Sky satellite dish here in the UK. For a long time, in order to get additional channels, we've used a satellite dish. There's also cable TV, but here mainly it's Sky which gives you those extra channels. Things have changed a lot in recent years. Obviously now we've got digital TV, so there's more on a normal transmitter, and we've also got internet television through Netflix and other providers. But you'll see here I have 3 cables actually coming down the side of the property, and if we look really close here, we've got one dual feed satellite cable that goes to the TV in the front room, in the lounge, in sitting room, whatever you want to call it, and that currently has Sky, which I'm actually cancelling because I really don't see the point anymore. This feed here is this extra one that I put in. You can buy this cabling off eBay. You can either buy it in single or dual feed like that, and it comes with all the clips that you might need if you buy one from eBay with the clips, and you basically tack it to the wall. And that's what I've done here, so we can see that the extra cable is tacked to the wall. It goes all the way around. You do a rough measurement so that you know how much of this cable you're going to need. I've tacked it quite low because of various reasons. It goes into my garage. Now this is where it gets tricky. Okay, so this satellite feed carries on, goes up here and feeds in to... Basically, I measured too much. As you can see, there was far too much cabling for the job. So I've rolled it all together, and basically that feeds in with this connection here, which comes from that gaming room and plugs into there. You can basically plug it together. So that's one feed there, and that's a feed from the satellite, plugs together, and that is where I'm getting my feed from. This, by the way, here is a little switch I've got, the gigabit Ethernet switch, which feeds in the fibre optic broadband and spreads it out into various Ethernet connections. So this is really the dirty bit of the gaming room, but this is how I get the satellite feed in. This is how I get my Ethernet feed in upstairs through this switch, and it goes up into the room which is above us now, going through that blue cable there.